Hello, Bloodsuckers. Thanks for tuning in once more to I Remember It Fondly.
Yeah, get ready to sleep all day and party all night because it's good to be a vampire.
Michael, 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 Michael. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 4 of I Remember It Fondly, the Outerhaven's official podcast about dangly jewelry earrings and spiky mullet mohawks. Whatever.
And the dangers that come with.
And the dangers therein of having a mohawk or just being a punk rocker in general. No, we watched The Lost Boys this time.
Yes, we did.
We've been waiting for this. I was so excited to watch this movie.
This is a big one.
This was a really big one for me because I legitimately watched this movie countless times as a kid.
Yeah.
So many fucking times. If you haven't seen The Lost Boys, Shelby, what is The Lost Boys about? Give us a little rundown.
So basically, a mom and her 2 sons move to Santa Carla, aka the murder capital of the world. And move in with their crazy grandpa, who is a taxidermist. Obviously, the 2 sons, they're teenagers. They want to kind of get a lay of the land, so they go to like the boardwalk. And the oldest one, Michael, finds a girl. Obviously, gets him into trouble.
There's always a girl.
Always getting him into trouble. And the bad boy clan of Santa Carla is a group of vampires.
A group of
Keith
teenage,
Sutherland.
cool
Sexy
vampires.
And obviously, Michael gets turned into a half vampire. So then...
Still don't know how that works.
You never go full vamp.
Never go full vamp. So then the rest of the movie is basically Sam and the Frog Brothers trying to save Michael from his vampirism.
Yeah. Basically, that's it.
That's it.
Oh, I forgot to do introductions. Oh,
I mean, Lost Boys is pretty important.
I did want to just get right in.
Yeah.
First guest is Lost Boys. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome, Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
Glad to have you here. Obviously, joining us as always is my faithful sidekick, Joe.
Hello.
Joe, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Just enjoying this Oktoberfest
Franzia.
Rheingeist.
It's not even October yet.
It's not even October yet, but whatever.
Close enough.
Also joining us, who just delivered a immaculate summary of The Lost Boys.
Similar
Shelby
to the
Roll.
Immaculate Conception. Almost the same thing.
Shelby, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Enjoying this Rheingeist as well.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
pretty delicious.
That's, I think, $1 that you owe me for that.
That's cool. I'll get you back.
And as our special guest this week,
Very special.
we have the one and only Matt Hamparian from the Sore Thumb Crew.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Well, is it so?
I just
Are
wanted
you
to-
guys okay? So this is
Okay.
this is something I need to clear up. Are you the Sore Thumb Crew and you do a podcast, or are you the Sore Thumb Crew podcast?
Probably the Sore Thumb Crew semicolon podcast.
Okay.
That's like what we're primarily doing.
Well, you can't commit to a whole
Semicolon is not a or podcast isn't a complete sentence.
It's not?
Colon, you could do colon.
I'm going to do semicolon.
You gotta
Okay,
commit.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't
But
commit.
yeah, we're basically a podcast. That's pretty much what we're focusing on. We're going to hopefully dive into streaming at some point. But
So I guested on an episode with you guys.
15 years ago? To the date. I think to the date.
Yeah.
Roughly.
I was 14.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And the what we talked about Comic-Con. We talked about some other crap.
I have a hard time remembering my
Here's
own
what
podcast.
amazed me. You guys were the Sore Thumb Crew podcast. And I was like, that's like a thing. Like, you know, they play video games, so their thumbs are like really sore. I showed up. You guys' thumbs were disgusting.
Yeah.
Just like raw,
Yeah.
red, bloody thumbs.
Well,
it
I
is
also-
not a clever
Right
name.
before you got there, I had a really big booger in my nose, and I was getting it with my thumb, you know.
That's awesome.
So wait, no, that didn't. That
Yeah.
happened. Never.
Is it
happened.
from your pipe? Are you constantly
I
putting your
usually
thumb
use
in your
my
pipe?
index finger on that.
You're fingering
on my
your pipe.
So, fingering my pipe. Yeah, I like pipe.
Laying some pipe? I don't
Do you
know.
pipe?
Yes, I pipe.
Do you
I
even pipe,
Do you
bro?
even
That's
pipe?
the question
I pipe,
that I
bro.
want.
That's
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's really. all I
So, well, Lost Boys with
Lost
you.
Boys.
Was this a movie that you watched a lot when you were younger, or?
I watched it numerous times. I think that one of my friends told me to watch it. I think we were in middle school. It was the first time I watched it, so that was a while ago.
He told you to watch it?
Mm-hmm.
It was his thing. He's like,
Yeah,
dude, you
dude.
need
And then we watched it again in high school, and I was like, oh my god. And then I've seen it off and on since then.
it. Awesome. So, did you like it then?
I liked it for the comical aspect. Like, oh, this is funny. I'm a real big fan of bad good movies.
Sure.
That are you watch it and you know they're bad and you're like,
Mhm.
this movie's effing terrible. And then you're like, but it was also good. So I think, yeah, that's what I'm
Do you
saying.
think... So do you think Lost Boys was good because it was so bad it's good?
Yes.
Or do you... Really?
Yes.
You don't think there's any redeeming goodness in it? You don't think... Shelby's
We're about
gonna
to
pass
fight.
out.
I think the redeeming qualities of it are offset by the utterly absurd WTF moments.
Yeah.
There are so many.
Where you're just
Give
watching
me one.
it.
Give me one
okay.
WTF moment.
I wish I was good at impersonating, but Kiefer Sutherland, I can't remember his character's name.
David.
David.
Best vampire name ever.
David. Just David.
I was gonna make a Twilight joke, but I'll refrain. But
We did. This is... The Lost Boys is the only teen vampire movie.
I don't
Doesn't
remember that.
exist.
So let's see.
So,
what it-
one of the things throughout the movie, it kind of tapered off towards the second half because I feel like the first half of the movie has most of the ridiculous stuff that you're WTF is going on, this is ridiculous, and the second half kind of it gets its shit together,
Yeah.
you know. But throughout the first half, the biggest thing that every time it happened, I chuckled and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Was every time David Kiefer Sutherland, who. This is off topic. He's basically he's in a new TV show. Sorry, and he's basically it's not a continuation of 24, but that's what it
But
looks
it's basically
like.
yeah.
What
yeah.
the fuck?
Mhm.
Okay, just off topic. But my boy Kiefer, he says Michael all the time, and it's not like
I love it.
It's
I
like- See, I can't-
Michael.
Does anyone
He's
know how,
so
does anyone know
like.
how many times?
I
Michael
love
Jordan?
Did you keep track?
Approximately 118 times.
Oh my god.
How far are you willing to go, Michael?
But the way he says Michael is different. He alters that word differently than he does anything else.
And different than anybody's ever said,
yes,
Michael.
Yes, it's just the whole time. And, I can't.
He Kieferized it.
Yes, it
Somehow.
just got
One
me in
more
the
time.
heart every time, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding
Oh,
me.
and he says it so many times. He won't address him by hey, we've been
Mike,
talking in this
pal,
conversation already,
bud.
and
Yeah.
I've already said your name.
Yep.
No, I'm going to say it again and again.
Again.
Every time I
And
address
again.
you. Every
again.
single time he addresses him. Michael. I don't know.
Michael.
It is hard to say it like Kiefer does.
Yeah, I can't
Well,
even.
when it's 80% of your dialogue, I feel like you really gotta send it.
Oh
home.
yeah, so
you
he's
know what I mean?
he's like, I gotta do something
do
with
you think
Michael.
do you think Vin
Yeah.
Diesel got inspiration for Groot saying Groot from Kiefer Sutherland?
Michael.
Oh, can we replace that? Can we do a cut of Lost Boys with just Vin Diesel saying Michael every time? Just Kiefer Sutherland saying they're only noodles, and then it's Michael. That would be
Enjoy
great.
your maggots, Michael.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Oh,
seems
yeah.
great.
Yep. So this movie is what you were talking about earlier, Shelby. Was you were watching this with your boyfriend. And what was he saying?
Yeah, so I grew up watching this movie. My parents grew up in the 80s, so my mom was always giving me movies to watch, and Lost Boys was one of them. And I watched it constantly. I was obsessed with this movie. So my boyfriend and I watched it last night getting ready for the podcast, and I looked over and he just looked so confused, and he was like, I have no idea what's happening or where this is going. And I was like, wait, you've never seen this? And he's like, I have no idea what it's about. He's like, is this an Outsiders knockoff? And I was like, oh, just wait.
So he didn't
Just
even know
wait.
there were vampires.
No, he was so confused. He's
Which
like,
you wouldn't
there's a
know
monster?
until
You would think.
until not even when they drink the blood.
Yeah, they try to
Yeah.
hide it.
Yeah.
And it's obvious that they're trying to hide it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the movie was supposed to be like Peter Pan meets vampires.
Yep.
The
I
Lost
think
Boys.
yeah.
Lost
Yeah.
Boys. They made the connection that Lost Boys are
Yep.
vampires. They don't grow old. They go out at night. They fly.
Yep.
But they're vicious,
But they're vicious.
compared to the Lost Boys.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
just wearing like cute squirrel hats and stuff like that, like raccoon tails and shit. And Peter Pan. I mean, I don't know. So is Michael Peter Pan or is David Peter Pan?
I guess the original idea for the movie was for the characters to be young kids instead of teenagers, which I guess the director Joel Schumacher did not like. So he wanted to change that up. He didn't. Want
Well,
to
he kept laddie
He
then.
wanted to make it sexy. He wanted to make it dark and cool.
So sexy.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
That
sexy.
worked.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it was a fairly sexy movie.
Yeah.
There's a
Oh,
lot,
yeah.
a lot of sexiness.
Yeah.
The
Never-
dangly earrings, I
never
think,
have
add
been more
like
attractive to
80% of the
Right?
sex.
Yeah. Like,
Never
Kiefer
what?
Sutherland's
Never,
hot
yeah.
in this movie.
Never have been more attracted to a man.
Well, not too. You know what's funny is like the cover of it. This right here, I'm holding the cover for listeners at home. That is exactly what my Uncle Chip looks like.
Wait, seriously?
No joke.
That same look on his face?
No joke. Same lips, eyes.
That really works for
it
him for a
looks.
long time.
That is, dude. That is Chip. That's all there is to it. And I was convinced for a very long time. I was like, you're in the Lost Boys, right? Like you are Kiefer Sutherland. And I
Did you
just
put
don't know.
garlic all over his spaghetti?
It won't get him there.
No, and you know, it's a really funny story about him. When he was a kid, I've heard this from my grandparents. He was terrified of vampires, and he slept with a cross above his bed. He's not
Seriously?
religious. Not religious.
A cross?
Slept with
Seriously?
yeah.
Funny.
He was terrified of vampires. Slept with a cross above his bed. Yeah,
And this was pre-Lost Boys.
pre-Lost Boys, because he was born in like 70 something.
How do you, like... Okay, I'm not, like, talking shit about people's, like, childhood fears, but how do you single
out
out
as vampires.
specifically vampires
Oh.
as your, like, that's what I'm going to be
That's the
afraid
thing.
Not
of.
That's gonna come to my
spiders.
room
Not
tonight.
spiders, not effing demons, not, I don't know, ghosts, ghouls, whatever.
Vampires.
Vampires.
Yeah.
What was your irrational fear?
Okay, don't make fun of me. When I was really little, my parents, I watched the Ghostbusters with my parents. And,
Not Slimer, right?
No. Those are, like, gargoyle dogs.
Okay,
Those,
yeah.
scared the ever-living piss out of me, through, most of my childhood.
Those are pretty scary.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
pretty. Especially, when you're, little and, you think that's, the, graphically, or that's not the right word, whatever,
that-
graphically the best.
Top
to,
notch, yeah.
They're gargoyles.
Effects that
So
you
I,
see.
had issues. I slept with my closet door, open for, a really long time.
Oh well, we can tie that back to the Lost Boys.
Oh, yeah.
So
The
were
closet
you
monster.
were you then afraid of the closet monster?
What was the real reason Michael and Sam's mother left their father?
Oh, I have that written down. I have that written down.
It had to be something ridiculous.
Okay.
The
Wait,
closet monster.
seriously?
What was it?
Prepare.
She says, as he says, "Mom, when you close the door," she's like, "Oh yeah, okay." And she closes the door for him. She's like, "Sam, this is a terrible thing to admit, but I think that one of the reasons I divorced your father was because he never believed in the closet monster." And then the grandpa's like, he's got a stuffed gopher or something.
Which looks like it's doing karate. Its hands are all
Yeah.
It's
red.
oh man, yeah. So you were afraid of the closet monster?
I was afraid of the closet monster.
I was afraid of Chucky. Just
Chucky?
very, very terrified of Chucky.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I had remember the My Buddy dolls?
Yeah.
Oh.
Me and my brother I had a blonde one because I was blonde. My brother had a brown-haired one because he was brown-haired. And
That's weird.
And they were sitting
Your
there.
parents bought you things based on what you guys looked like?
Yeah, I mean that's what I assumed. Anyway, they would sit in a corner of our room, taunting us at night. So me and my brother, we killed our Chucky dolls. We couldn't take it anymore. We knew we had to kill them before they killed us.
You had to act first.
So you literally killed these dolls.
We literally knocked their heads off with croquet mallets.
In our defense, the dolls struck first.
They drew first.
It was
dolls
a
made the
preemptive
first
attack.
move.
I wasn't going to get knifed by some possessed doll.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so this movie, what I love. So you were talking about. You said they moved to Santa Carla. Shelby, the murder capital of the world. How do we know without them telling us, which I'm pretty sure they tell us 1,000 times, but how do we know that it's the murder capital of the world without that?
So when they first drive into town, is this what you're talking about? Or no?
Well, I mean, there's a visual element throughout the film.
So, like, the very first one, they're driving into town, there's, like, this big-ass billboard, like, welcoming them to Santa Carla, and it's, like, this big, beautiful, colorful scene. And then they drive past it, and the camera zooms back, and there's, like, all this graffiti.
And then the largest graffiti.
And in the largest, it says murder capital of the world.
So the whole premise of this movie is based entirely off of someone's artwork.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
And then the other visual clues, the, like, through of the movie is missing person signs.
Yeah.
We see people hanging up missing person signs every time somebody's killed.
Yeah.
By either one of the vampires or just random missing person signs.
Yep.
And then the milk carton. Laddie's on the milk carton.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
Oh, great. There goes one of my trivia questions.
Aha!
Is that one of your trivia questions?
Too easy.
You know what? Let's get to that. Let's go ahead, Joe.
Do we start the trivia?
We're already, we might be infringing upon
Are
his
we
trivia.
trivializing?
Okay,
this
here's
trivia?
something
I think
fun.
we are. Alright.
All right.
Excuse me, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Here we
All
go.
right.
Do we have a buzzer to use when we answer it the right?
I'm gonna
Well, how's it gonna go?
let's chime in for some. I'll chime in. I'll just follow my lead here. All right, this one anyone can chime in. What actual city was Santa Carla, and how do we know?
It was L.A. Long Beach.
No.
What do you mean, like, where it was filmed?
What was the actual city that Santa Carla? They were going to use an actual city, but they had to change the name.
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz. And how do we know that?
I don't. I just figured Santa Carla, Santa Cruz.
There's a poster hanging in the scene where the people are strange. You're seeing kind of the boardwalk area. Mm-hmm. It's during the festival, and you see a poster for the Santa Cruz County Fairgrounds. And it was September 10th through the 15th. So this is very appropriate that we're doing this podcast on this date.
Nice.
All right.
Damn.
Cody got that one right. It was 1 point for Cody.
Thanks.
Have to win.
All right. What was the title of the comic the Frog Brothers gave to Sam?
Vampires everywhere.
All right. I think everyone got that. Missing boy in the milk carton was obviously Laddie. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, we already got on it.
All right. T-shirts. When Michael and Star go into Sam's room, wake him up. What did his T-shirt say?
Sam's?
Sam's T-shirt.
Oh,
Born to Shop.
Born to shop. Born to Shelby.
Born to shop.
Very
born to shop.
Does his shirt say Born to Shop?
All right. First person to finish this
Why was he
line.
wearing that? Like, why did Josh do that?
That's his
Why
night-
did he give him a born to shop shirt?
That's
That
his
really
90s.
defines
Born to shop.
his
That's
character.
his 90,
job.
man. Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, when he first runs into the Frog Brothers, that's, like, one of the first things they, like, give him shit about is, like, the way he's
They
dressed.
say,
Wait,
here's what they
you're
say.
right.
Here's what he says. We're just checking out your civilian attire. Because they're military? Like, they're not, but they constantly dress like they really have these delusions of, like, militaristic grandeur. They're like,
Militant.
scoping out your civilian attire. And what do they say? You know, it looked pretty good. Or no, he's like, yeah, I like it pretty good. And they're like, for a fashion victim.
I just couldn't handle that little kid's voice.
Oh, which one?
The
Laddie?
No, that guy with the voice.
Oh, Feldman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Edgar Frog.
He really
Yeah.
gruffs up his voice, I think.
We're going to get into that.
Okay. Cody's going to do lots of impressions for us.
Where I do have a slew of impressions I'm going to do in a row.
All right, first person to finish this line wins points.
How many?
Flies and the undead go together like
Oh, god damn it. I wrote this quote down. Bullets and
bullets
guns.
and guns.
I was like, oh my god, I totally know.
Which that quote got me serious.
That was a good one. All right.
I like the kid was so sure of himself. He's like, oh yeah, I thought of this. Like, it was just like
bullets and guns.
All right. Price is
Oh,
right
God.
time. Without going over. Who can guess the death count in this movie?
Overall death count. Just from the beginning of the film.
Humans and vampires.
Humans and vampires.
I'm gonna count with my hands.
You're gonna count. You're
under
counting
the,
your head.
under the
You guys-
table.
Everyone's looking up to the left.
Does this it's only deaths we've seen in the film, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's people you actually see.
Man, that
be killed in the
bonfire
movie.
scene's gonna fuck me up.
Yeah, fuck me up
Oh man, I'm glad you said that. I forgot about
too.
that.
Is that some
13.
13? This is without going over.
I'm saying 13.
I'm gonna say 15.
12.
All right. Closest without going over. Well, the answer is 14. So closest without going over. Is
Yeah.
Damn.
So guard, boardwalk guard,
Couple in the car.
two maker outer comic thieves, with he's got like a white
Yeah.
hair thing.
Campfire.
4 vampires,
Bonfire.
Yeah.
plus Max,
Plus Max.
Yep.
and then
Plus the 6 at the bonfire.
6 at the
6 at the bonfire.
Does that add up, everybody? People at home, do your math. Next question. All right, what song does Grandpa's horn play?
La Cucaracha.
Which you later hear, in
I was just
creepy
gonna
organ
jump
music. All right.
But it trails off.
All right, and the final and bonus question, and I actually looked this up, there's a quantitative amount. How much oil did they put on the chest of the sexy sax man? How much oil did they smear on the chest of the sexy sax man?
How many quarts? What?
Just how much?
2 oils.
Oh man, so he was pretty lathered up.
Enough.
He was lathered up.
Wait, so you're saying that's not just his sweat from like jamming hard?
That's his natural.
That's
look.
just his
Every
natural
day he
look.
wakes up.
He wakes up and it's just
Industrial lubricant he has on his chest.
I guess a gallon.
No, everyone's wrong. The answer is all of it.
All of the oil.
I said enough.
I would say that's as close as without going over was enough.
that's pretty good.
It's close without going over.
Dude, that
Shelby
is
gets points
awesome.
for that.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right, and that concludes our trivia.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
There was one piece I didn't actually see this, so I didn't include it. A movie called Once Bitten, which stars Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've seen this. Yeah.
Well, I guess you can see that it was on display, like in the video store somewhere. I didn't really see it, but I guess Jim Carrey was actually considered for the role of David.
Yeah.
So what would this movie have been
No
like if Jim
way.
Carrey had been David?
Oh my
Michael.
god. Oh my god. How would you have said Michael?
Dude, David's lines in the style of Jim Carrey.
Oh,
What if that was just Kiefer though improv? He's like, I'm just gonna say Michael all the effing time. Like,
We're going by lines.
If Jim Carrey were in this movie, dude. If Jim Carrey were in this movie, it would be so
wouldn't be as
insane.
good.
It would not be.
No.
Because there's a seriousness that
Yeah.
Kiefer brings that's at sometimes ridiculous, and that's sort of necessary. It would be it would just only be a comedy.
I think that really would have changed Jim Carrey's career path. Like he was, always a very comedic actor. Like,
Do you think he wouldn't have had
for more serious roles? Like,
They wouldn't have rewritten the rules to fit. They wouldn't
you
like
think they would have made
Carrey
this
But
fight
he wasn't
more
he
funny?
wasn't very established then, because what was
So 87.
87? Yeah, he
Best
was
year ever.
Well, he had just done a,
Yeah,
he had just done a
Euroborn.
vampire
Same.
movie. He didn't want to be typecast as the vampire guy.
Oh, because he did Once Bitten.
Yeah, Once Bitten came
I'm
first.
cutting it off. I'm not doing any more vampire films. Everybody's gonna be hitting me up. He's Edward Cullen. It's Jim Carrey. All
I'm
right.
glad they
right, so
skipped
who
over
won?
Jim Carrey on that one.
I don't know.
I think
You're
we all
supposed
win
to
on that
tablet.
one.
I got like a half a point.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
you're
I
good.
did
This is
all
like
right.
Get a
golf.
point just for
Thanks for
being
coming.
here.
And now
points.
Matt's got to go.
Yeah, I'll see you
Whoever
guys.
loses gets kicked off the podcast.
Shelby and Cody are going to the bonus round.
That sax player, what was his name, Matt?
Tim Capello.
Tim Capello? Capella? Capello?
Capello. I think I said Capella before the podcast.
He's amazing.
and actually doubted that was him playing sax, but Matt
Tim
confirmed
Capello,
that it was
yeah.
him.
I knew he was a sax player.
So he was sexy and proficient at sax.
I thought like his song was sick
and
as fuck
muscly,
too.
had access
I
to
still
the
believe.
oil.
Yeah.
I
And leather
still-
and like chains.
Yeah.
Fishnets maybe.
But he was obviously popular in the 80s for being like a sexy saxophone player. But then he inspired the SNL skit called The Curse with Andy Samberg. I always say Adam Sandberg, but that's not his
Yeah.
name.
Was that one of his digital shorts? Do you know, or is that just one of like the?
I don't know
SNL.
the terminology. I'm pretty sure it was on SNL, but it's pretty funny. And then
It
it
is
also there's also like YouTube videos where a guy plays like kind of dressed up like him, and he goes around in public places and like just plays the like. Oh gosh, I can't remember this song.
Jimmy Love.
Yeah, Jimmy Love
is his name.
He just goes around and plays sax.
Mostly standing in a shopping cart,
Yeah.
from what I understand.
Getting pushed around Walmart. There's good ones, but it's just funny because like that, like when I was watching this again, like I was like, holy shit, like that's the guy that like inspired all of this stuff.
So you knew of Jimmy Love before you remembered.
Well, I knew of Jimmy Love, but I didn't remember who the saxophone guy was that like inspired it all.
Uh-huh.
And then when I was watching it, I saw him and I was like, oh, that's that guy. And then like
That's
so
awesome.
super funny.
Yeah, no, that guy's awesome. He is very oily. He is so into his music, and he really like gets really humpy when he's playing sax.
His
That's
pelvic
like
thrusts
his thing
are
is
so powerful.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, they're powerful.
they're not like smooth. He doesn't go in and out like that. He's very like jerky with it. He's humping.
Yeah.
He's humping something.
He's humping the saxophone.
Yeah, he is humping. Or
Yeah.
is the saxophone phallic that we're supposed to? I mean, is that?
I mean, that is the whole scene of like Star and Michael's.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh god.
The saxophone-
Connection.
the saxophone
There
is
is. Would you
Across
call
the
that a meet
crowd.
cute? Would that be a meet cute?
I think
cute.
I think it was just Michael's connection because the whole scene, he's just staring at her.
Very
Well, and what we
predatory.
learn later is Star was supposed
Yeah.
to kill Michael.
Yeah.
And that's when you were talking about that earlier. I was thinking about that. Like,
So she was kind of dating him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was.
She knew what she was doing.
But at the same time, she really did not want to get on David's bike. Like so
Yeah.
the scene like this is the first time, right?
Yeah, this
is
is
the
their
first
first
time.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so the first time he sees her, he follows her around, but she just gets on David's bike with the gang, and because these awesome vampires also ride dirt bikes or motorcycles. I think they're dirt
yeah,
bikes.
They're
Dirt
dirt
bikes.
bikes.
They're dirt
yeah.
bikes.
Michael has a dirt bike.
Yeah, and she just gets on, and Sam's like, "Yeah, she stiffed you, bud."
Yeah.
And then the next time he sees her, because he just starts prowling around the boardwalk
I
looking
mean,
for
he like
Star now.
legitimately stalks her.
Yeah. And he sees her, and he's like, they're gonna go for a ride or something. He's gonna get his ear pierced. She's like, "Don't do it. It's a ripoff." Why is it a ripoff? I don't get it. Like,
I'll do it for you.
it's a ripoff. Yeah, if you want your ear pierced, I can do it. He's like, okay, like, which is hilarious. But then that's when she's like gonna go for a ride on his bike.
Yep.
And then David pulls up like, meow, meow, you know, and like his little gang, like,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Where you going, Star?" And she's just like looking at him, and he's like, "Star." And then she like does not want to get on David's bike.
Yeah.
She is looking at him like, he's gonna beat me later.
Yeah.
Please, Michael, don't make me go with David.
Just
Is that when they
drive
race?
That's when they
Yeah.
race. That's when
Well, it's not
he
really a
goes.
race.
It's
You
not
have to
really
beat
a
me,
race.
Michael.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is a good time for me to try to do my rapid lines of the film.
This is Lost Boys in about a minute.
About a minute.
About
I
a
timed
minute.
this. I timed this. It goes a little bit longer, but this is what I feel.
Very quotable movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they all are. And I think what's interesting about movies like this, or any movie, is like there should always be one line that wraps up that scene, right?
Yeah.
Or that symbolizes each thing going through. So
God, I can't wait for this.
here's the Lost Boys in about 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Cry, little sister. I told you to stay off the boardwalk. I know last year hasn't been easy, but I think you guys are really going to like living in Santa Carla. People are strange. If he's dead, can we go back to Phoenix? Playing dead. And from what I heard, doing a damn good job of it, too. Are you telling me that we moved to the myrtle capital of the world? Are you serious, Grandpa? Oh, I still believe. we were that age too once. They dress better. Where the hell are you from, Krypton? This is just our cover. We're dedicated to a higher purpose. I came this close to being named Moonbeam or Moonchild, something like that. You don't have to beat me, Michael. You just have to try and keep up. Sail into the night, lost in the shadows. How far are you willing to go, Michael? So check it out, Mikey. Sam, this is a terrible thing to admit, but I think that one of the reasons I divorced your father was because he never believed in the closet monster. Maggots, Michael. You're eating maggots. How did they taste? Yeah, sure, blood. Michael wants to know what's going on. I'm a lonely boy I ain't got a home. What'd you do to my dog, you asshole? You're a vampire, Michael. My own brother, a goddamn shit-sucking vampire. You wait till Mom finds out, buddy. Here's what you do. You get yourself a big steak, drive it right through his heart. I can't do that. He's my brother. Okay, we'll come over and do it for you. Don't listen to him, Mom. Sam, he doesn't know what he's saying. Sam doesn't know what he's saying. Stop. Shut up, Sam. Whew, smells like garlic. What's happening to me, Star? Cry, little sister. Santa Carla's become a haven for the undead. As a matter of fact, we're almost certain that ghouls and werewolves occupy high positions at City Hall. And you must be Max. Mom, these are my dinner guests, Edgar and Alan Frog, the Frog Brothers. I bet you hate garlic, don't you? Walk this way! Initiation's over, Michael. So now you know what we are. Now you know what you are. You drank someone's blood? Are you crazy? Hey, Grandpa, can we borrow your car? Good night, bloodsucker. We were unraveled in the face of the enemy. You killed Marco! Aha! Garlic don't work, boys! You missed, sucker! Holy shit, it's the attack of Eddie Munster. You afraid to face me, David? My blood is in your veins. So is mine. Thou shalt not fall. Don't ever invite a vampire into your house, you silly boy. It renders you powerless. Great, the blood-sucking Brady Bunch. But I still want you, Lucy. I haven't changed my mind about that. I didn't invite you this time, Max. The one thing I hate about living in Santa Carla I never could stomach. All the damn vampires.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
That's Lost Boys.
Good.
That's the movie right there.
There's a
That's the whole movie.
It was good. I'm really glad you included the Eddie Munster line because I about fell off my couch. I was laughing. So
I think one of my favorite lines. One of my favorite lines from the whole movie.
Scary. That was like one of the scariest things as a kid.
Laddie's pretty scary.
Laddie was scary.
I think one of my favorite lines though was the. As a matter of fact, we're almost certain that ghouls and werewolves occupy high positions at City Hall. That was hilarious because the Frog Brothers. Can we just talk about the Frog Brothers for a
How
second?
great
Probably
they
talk
are.
about them.
They are amazing.
They make this movie what it is. I think.
Oh my god.
yeah.
They're so great. Like, okay, does anybody have a favorite Frog Brother? Edgar
Edgar.
or Alan? Edgar?
The
Corey
voice
Feldman?
one.
Hands down.
The
Feldman?
voice one.
Feldman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Feldman?
you gotta give it to Feld.
But
I
the
love
other one,
when
Alan's
he,
pretty
like-
cool though. Alan's cooler. He's more like stoic.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just gonna look at you. My eyes are like not really.
Does he even
open
have a
much.
line?
Oh yeah,
he
he has a
He
lot of
has a
lines.
few.
He's the one who
Like
said, "We unraveled in the face of the enemy," and then to which Feldman replies, "It's not our fault. They pulled the mind scramble on us. They opened their eyes and talked." Like what?
My favorite line by
They open their eyes and talk.
They opened their eyes and talked. So that's what's great about the Frog Brothers is. So I'm really confused about the Frog Brothers. So they.
Have they encountered vampires before?
Okay,
Like,
so this is the
Yeah.
question I want to ask. Like, at one, okay, so they seem like a lot of talk, okay,
Yeah.
and they have a lot of like pompous, like really, they seem like they know more about what's going on. You know, we have reason to believe that vampires or ghouls and werewolves occupy position City Hall. The line, they pulled the mind scramble on us. They opened their eyes and talked. Speaks to their inability, their immaturity to this stuff, right? But yet, he fucking climbs up that ladder and is like, I'm gonna stake this fucking
Does not
vampire right in his
hesitate.
fucking heart. Like,
He
does not
trolled
show
him.
But then
fear.
it's like
He walks
he
in there.
trolled him.
He trolled
They
that
trolled
man.
those vampires.
They did.
yeah, he like stabs that one, but then in the bathroom they're all like
Nanook has to do it.
Yeah, because they're like
Nanook,
screaming.
star of the film.
I
Yeah.
love Nanook.
Nanook's,
Okay,
Nanook's real name is Cody, by the way.
Seriously?
It's in the credits.
That's my favorite dog name, all because of
Also-
the movie Life Aquatic, where he's like, "Oh, what's your dog's
He's
name?"
like,
and he like looks at it, and he's like,
smacks him.
"Cody."
He smacks him with something. He's like, down, Cody.
Be still, Cody.
The dog's name was Nanook because of Peter Pan, where the dog's name
Yep.
was Nana.
Yep.
So that's why the
Oh, back to some Peter Pan stuff. Okay.
I watched it
This
with
is like our second
subtitles.
Peter Pan connection. With
There's a lot.
movie.
Like you said, there's a
Our
lot.
second movie.
Is
with
there a
Peter
Star
Pan
Trek connection? in
I don't
this
know. That's what I was
one?
looking for. I couldn't find one.
I
So
can't
who
think
was
of one.
Hook? Would this be Max?
Max.
Other than Max.
Would Max be
Yeah.
Hook?
I think so.
But Max
he
isn't a
was
lost
also-
boy.
No, because he's not.
Well, Hook
alive.
is
Hook is technically
immortal,
Hook,
right?
Hook doesn't
'Cause he
grow old.
was
He
in-
was
Yeah.
Hook became immortal. You know,
He lives in Neverland.
at it. You know, at his age.
That's
So
true.
yeah, I would say Max.
But
would
the
be
Lost
immortal.
Boys weren't his boys, right?
No, they were like
Yeah, but
As if he
separate.
said, he says that Max is
What would-
like
what
those
would
are my
Hook's
boys.
life be
But they're
without-
like they're not really like friends with Max.
Yeah, with
Like-
like the bat.
So yeah, Max is supposed to be like the head vampire.
Yeah.
Like father of these boys in a way. Yet they fuck with him, so they come into the video store and he's like, "I thought I told you to stay out of here," and they're like,
Yeah.
But then they leave. Before that, they rode the merry-go-round.
Were they not invited?
Yeah.
No, well, I think that just makes sense on like a father-child dynamic. Like when I don't have children, but I've watched children. I am a child. At some point in time, I really don't like my dad.
Yeah.
We're friends now, but like at some point I'm like, oh, Dad. I think that's just a father-child dynamic.
Yeah.
So they do this to Max, and actually they do this a lot. It seems like
it makes you
the
think
Lost
that Max
Boys
is going to be attacked.
Well, not that. Oh yeah, they do that. So that's like they're switching us up on us. They're misleading us.
Misleading.
But isn't it funny that the Lost Boys? That's how we can probably refer to these vampires, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it funny that their like main tactic is like revving their motorcycles and shining lights at people?
Yeah.
Like you're in your house and they just like revving their motorcycles and like lights everywhere.
Yeah.
Like projecting whispers of Michael.
Yeah, there's the Michael too.
Yeah.
That's crucial part.
Yeah.
Michael. I mean, to be fair, if I was a vampire and I was trying to F with people, that's not what I would do.
You wouldn't do the motorcycle.
They throw like that bat kite.
Yeah.
Into Max when he's like trying to get into
Do you
his
think
house.
they threw that out? I thought that it just like blew down from the roof.
Oh, I figured
You
they
thought it blew down from
totally.
the
Yeah, I
roof?
thought that was just some kid was flying his bat kite in the neighborhood. Got a kite on his
No,
roof.
because that was at the same scene of the motorcycles
How
revving
do
and
you throw a
everything.
kite though?
They did, well,
Yeah, you just
they're
also
vampires.
fly.
How do you
That's right, they
rev?
fly.
How do you like, disappear all of a sudden when
with
like
your motorcycle?
with your
Yeah.
motorcycles? Yeah, because their motorcycles weren't vampires.
Yeah, how are they gonna glamour Max?
Yeah,
He's the.
you right. Yeah, I don't know. That's what's interesting. There are a
That was
few
that was a
inconsistencies.
misleading
I would say.
scene. That was
A couple.
good.
Just a couple.
Yeah, but this movie had a lot of great scenes. I think that I think we can agree that the best part of the movie, as is the best part of any movie that has this, including The Lost Boys, is the protect the fort scene.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Three
We had
Ninjas has
Ninjas.
this. It's the best part of Home Alone.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, we need to fortify this fucking place. We need to like vampire proof it.
Yeah.
We need to have like, bows and arrows here. We need garlic in the tub.
Where did they get that giant bag of garlic?
Oh, and he's like,
Dude, that's a lot of
smashing them.
garlic.
He's all-
That's a lot of garlic. And I like garlic.
Yeah.
And I don't think I could buy that much
We know where they
garlic.
got the holy water.
Well, it turns out they were. Speaking of the holy water, I have a feeling it must have been very diluted because they went into the church and they got some canteens full
This
of
was-
water.
yeah.
Then they had a whole bathtub, so I think they filled up the bathtub and diluted
With
the
a
holy
little
water
bit.
a little bit.
I didn't
So
even
I think
think
if
of
they're,
that.
if they're, if they're
But
using
it was still
pure
pretty
holy water,
But it
potent.
still worked.
yeah,
So it's
man.
like garlic doesn't work, boys.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
you're
because
like-
it's like just floating full of garlic, and they're like,
Yeah, imagine if they were using straight garlic or
It says,
straight holy water.
Try holy water, death breath,
Uncut holy water.
uncut.
And then the puppy saves the day.
Oh, he's so good. He's so good.
Mm.
Yeah.
But, like-
well, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say with this whole scene too, like where you see everyone's makeup really
Yeah.
well, and I was like, that still looks
Yeah,
really
it
good.
looks
to me.
Michaels and
Like,
stuff. Michaels,
Michaels
is pretty
and
cool.
Laddie, like he's terrifying. He
Yeah,
like
Laddie was
shoots through
scary.
that mattress.
And
Like-
there's just like like ribbons of mattress, like sheets, like ripped sheets. He's like, ah! And kid vampires are scary.
Yeah.
And there's another movie called Near Dark. Have you guys heard of Near Dark?
No.
Bill Paxton plays a vampire in Near Dark. So does. Oh, hey, we just watched.
I could not take that movie seriously because of Bill Paxton.
He's got like black
Are
hair,
you serious?
leather jacket.
No.
Oh, yeah,
I
Bill
couldn't-
Paxton used to be a punk.
I couldn't watch that
And
movie.
Lance Henriksen is the leader of this crew of vampires, which we actually were just watching some Hard Target scenes, and he's the bad guy in Hard
Yeah.
Target. And he's like the head vampire, and they have... But it doesn't seem like he is the head vampire because there's a boy, like a young boy of a vampire with them, and he seems to be the oldest of the whole group, like as far as age goes, but he's stuck as a boy,
Yeah.
and he keeps wanting to like kidnap this little girl, and he just fucking hates like being a kid. He's been a kid for fucking ever, and it's a pretty
I
cool
feel like
movie.
there's a book that's also like that, but I can't
Mhm.
remember. But like,
Anne Rice
Interview-
probably wrote it.
Yeah, I was about to say Interview with a Vampire.
Interview with a Vampire. Yeah. I
That's
watched
what
that for the
Laddie
first
like.
time.
I felt like Laddie, like his coat and everything, like he walked straight out.
He was like little
Dude,
Dude,
the clothes. Okay, so the best outfit. Oh, well, maybe not
I
the
know
best
what you're gonna
outfit,
say.
but dude, Marco, Bill from Bill and Ted.
yeah.
They killed Bill
Oh,
S. Preston
shit.
Esquire.
Yeah.
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 He
he
fucking-
was the first to die of the vampires.
His fucking clothes are amazing. His jacket is the most 80s
Yeah,
jacket
show
that
them a
you'll
picture
ever
of this
seen.
jacket.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll look
he
at
wore
it
this
real quick.
jacket throughout the movie, but it's like
Speaking of Marco, like, when they climb up that ladder to kill them, they're seriously, like, hanging from bars by their feet, like, their toes, like
They
bats.
twist little bat feet.
Yeah, and I was like...
Yeah.
The designer did not know when to stop when he was making this jacket. We got leopard print.
There is no
skulls,
symmetry.
13. We got... what is going
There's
on
like a
with this
Virgin
jacket?
Mary
Yeah.
on the back.
It is. Like, he is beautiful.
He is beautiful in this movie. He is way sexier than
man.
when he played Bill from Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was intended.
Everybody was pretty sexy,
He was
right?
a hot one.
Dude, how about, like, Jason Patrick as Michael? Like, he was...
Yeah.
Did he only get cast because he looked like Jim Morrison?
Jim Morrison.
I think so. And he had
Well,
the right
there's like
jaw.
that-
Whoa, did you
Like,
see?
his-
There
he's
was
got
that
a good
scene where it
jaw.
faded out from Michael's face into the poster of Jim.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, in the
yep.
hotel. Yeah, there's a big thing with the People Are Strange, and the hotel. They just had a big Morrison poster of him, like, doing his, like, sort
What
of
about that
thing. Like,
hotel?
yeah, the hotel was
The hotel was
awesome.
awesome. The
Cool.
sunk in the hotel that sunk into the like the trench.
She's like
Yeah.
back when the big one hit Santa
yeah,
Carla and
yeah.
whatever. The ground opened up.
Yeah. fell into a fall.
1903.
Yeah.
My date might be wrong.
And then he's like, and now it's ours. And he's like, that's when the other dude's like, yeah, so check it out, Mikey. It's like the guy with the blonde one. Nobody likes that guy. He's like a real dick.
Yeah.
He even tells Star to shut up. He's like, chill out, girl. She's like, guys, don't.
But then I have
Quit
a
messing
feeling-
with him. He's like,
then I
chill
have a
out,
feeling
girl.
that everyone really likes Marco.
Yeah.
Dude,
group-
they
we're
love
like,
Marco.
kill
They were so pissed that they
But also, to
killed
be
Marco.
fair, like, vampires, like, when they're in, like, a coven.
A coven of witches.
Oh, yeah, is that
Coven of
witches?
Witches.
What is a vampire tribe?
Yeah, what's I'm going with coven. Why they're in a coven?
No, it's coffin.
I know it's a nest.
Coffin.
That's
It's
you're
actually
thinking of
coffin.
coffins.
Alright, when they're in a coven.
Or you're thinking of alcoves that they're living in some sort of sea alcove.
When they're in a coven of a coven of vampires. I figured they're probably all good friends, you know? Like,
Yeah. Well, and did you think they really wanted to be friends with Michael?
A brood.
A
brood,
Who
yeah.
did- No, that's from StarCraft. Right.
Do you think that they
It's a
wanted to be
murder.
friends with Michael
No.
at all, on any level?
I think...
We learned something about this later,
Yeah,
about the intentions
Yeah,
of
before you
turning
find out,
Michael.
before you find out that Star was actually meant to hunt, or
Yeah.
Michael was supposed to be her first kill.
Because
I was worried. I was wondering about their motivation to, or well, why did they?
Well,
why did
once
they
he-
want to turn Michael so bad?
once he drinks the blood, they're kind of like, you're one of us now, Michael. And they take him to the train, because this
Yeah.
is what they do.
Oh, you always go to the train.
You always go to the train tracks and hang from
Yep.
the bottom of them.
Yeah.
I love that. That's the scene where he's like, Michael wants to know what's going on. And they're like, what's going on, Marco? He's like, I don't know. Who wants to know? And they're like, Michael wants to know. It's so crazy. It's just like, tell them what the fuck you're doing. Like,
And they're all, like, jumping through that hole, like,
he's
in
like,
the...
see you
they
later.
just
Like the one dude,
disappear.
yeah, the one guy who like his only line is "You miss blood" or "You miss sucker."
Yeah.
Yeah,
It-
the Lost Boys have few lines. Kiefer Sutherland has very few lines.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're all Michael.
He has more of the lines out of all the Lost Boys,
yeah.
but
Oh, yeah.
They all jump
barely
down and hang
speaks.
on this thing.
Mostly Michael. You're right. Yeah.
As it's not even their initiation.
Yeah.
It's just what they do to hang out. Because the initiation is the walk this way dudes hanging out by the fire
Yep.
that they hacked to pieces.
Yeah, I was like, do you ever think Steven Tyler thought that Walk This Way would be played to, like, a bonfire massacre?
Vampire,
Just
bloody.
scalping
Oh my god, they're so
and
bloody.
limbs.
It's so like bloody, like all over here. You know what I mean? Like all this neck. I'm sure that'll be picked up by the mic. Whatever.
Don't doing a burnout. Kind of badass.
There's all this like greasiness because like Michael can't do it. He like literally hit the.
He's, like, holding-
his like sheer like unwanting to do this knocks him out of a tree.
Yeah.
And he falls down, and they like come up all silhouetted like from the
Covered in blood.
just blood like all around their mouths.
But
and,
it goes
like, on
away
their
pretty
neck.
quickly.
Like,
Like,
as soon
it
as they,
leaves.
as soon as they reform in a human form,
Yep,
it's
blood's
They're
gone.
fine.
Blood's
Yeah.
gone.
He's like,
Did they lick it off of each other?
I mean, I would.
they didn't. Yeah.
If I was a
They're
waste
not.
your
They're not
time.
bad looking dudes.
Yeah. I would
Yeah, if I was a
blood off
vampire, I
every one
probably
of
would
those
lick
guys'
blood
back to
off
that
another
coven
guy.
thing.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do when you're just fucking hanging out?
Hey
all
guys, what do you want?
night?
Let's just lick blood off of each other. Yeah, you know, nothing
Ooh,
weird.
you want me to get the bottle? You guys want me to get the bottle?
The
Yeah.
ornate jewel encrusted bottle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, how did they, like, disguise it enough to where Michael's like, I think they made me drink blood.
Yeah,
Like,
you
I
think
feel
you
like
would've
blood's
known.
one of those
Is
things.
it wine
that,
or
like,
blood?
Even if it's
Very
wine,
disparate
like you're
taste.
gonna be
Blood's
like,
like a fairly thick. Like when
Yeah.
that.
Did you see it?
Yeah, it's very thin.
I
Kool-Aid in
I
there.
would
Oh,
suggest
yeah.
it was probably blood
Cherry
mixed with
Kool-Aid.
some like Pinot Noir or something. Like a
keep
nice,
it
nice
classy.
light one. Yeah.
Yeah, that is. when David is sitting on, he's like got a throne.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
that was kind of cool. The
Very
only
cool.
like moonlight that comes into that
Yeah.
place is like a spotlight on David's.
They planned that for sure. He's
Oh,
like,
for
oh
sure.
yeah, guys, we gotta move my throne right here.
right here. Yeah, I think
Well,
And then we gotta move it every minute as the sun changes.
as the moon changes.
Yeah.
Or yeah, moon.
I feel like the lighting on Kiefer Sutherland throughout the whole film is kind of that way, though, because like even when they're kind of having their like last battle in Grandpa's house, like
He
the
like
light
pops
is
up
very
for the thing.
Yeah.
like,
He's like in the
Yeah.
dark.
light on
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland,
Yeah.
and everyone else is like red
huh.
or dark.
Even in death, he's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, he turns into like boyish.
Yeah.
He like loses his facial hair.
Yeah.
Like, when Max
Such
goes
like
over and
soft,
is
like
like,
he has a soft, powdery complexion. Man, I just want to lick his face. How about that part when? All right, so they're leaving the hotel. They just killed Marco, and David is grabbing at is it Sam's leg?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Sam's like the
And
last one out.
He's kind of being pulled into the sunlight, and his arm reaches into the
Well,
sunlight.
what he says before he gets him is
Oh,
like, "You're dead meat."
Yeah. Well, that's right when he wakes up and they're like fleeing. But he like is burning and he's like reeling from the pain of the burn.
Yeah.
And then he's like looking into the camera, breathing heavy, and he's got that tear come
The
down.
single tear.
And then it holds on his
I
face
missed
for
the
like
tear.
maybe 4 or 5 seconds, and he's just
And
just
what does he say?
captivated
What
to
does he
watch.
say? He says, "Tonight." Like, duh, tonight. Like, not you're planning on another. Like, we're gonna do this next week, guys. All right?
night
No,
off.
we're gonna do this tonight because we're vampire. Like, he's like, tonight. Well, not during the
I
day
missed
for
that.
sure. Not tomorrow night because what's the point of that? We'll just do
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
And he has one solitary tear, and he's just like, like breathing. Just, it hurt. That
And his-
hurt.
his
He
eyes
cried.
were welled
He
up.
cried. It wasn't a
They
tear
think-
for Marco. What do you think?
Ooh.
What do you think he was crying about? Was he crying about
I thought
because
it
it
was-
hurt
yeah.
so bad that he cried, or was he sad that Marco
I think
died?
it's that. I mean, the pain of being
And then
touched by
Michael
sunlight
double-crossed
by a
him.
vampire. Is
I-
that painful?
I would have to say a combination of Marco. Maybe he was
It's
sad
like
about
anger.
Star.
No anger. I mean,
Could be sad about Star.
He didn't seem so. Yeah. What is David and Star's
really,
relationship?
he was. I mean, he
They're
was
like-
insulted. They came in, they killed one of his best friends.
Yeah.
Took his girl.
Into his
made him
house.
touch sunlight.
Yeah.
Ew.
I don't know.
I don't like touching.
Woke him up
sunlight.
in the middle of his sleep.
Yeah.
He's dangling there, sleeping, dreaming.
With his little
Oh,
bat toe.
what? Wait, what? He was dreaming?
What do you think he was dreaming
That's
about?
what I was gonna say. What do you think vampires dream
Has
about?
to be licking blood off of his mouth. Has to be.
Licking blood off Jim
That's why
Morrison's
he was
face.
so upset about Marco dying. He's
Yeah,
like, I'm
it's
totally
like-
gonna lick that blood off.
He was my favorite. He was my favorite because he was a little one, and everybody's and they say that when they're climbing up there. He's like, "I'll just start the little one."
Yeah.
And that's something like the Frog Brothers do because they were like, "We'll just have to kill them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know
Yeah.
which one. We'll just kill them all." Yeah, they were totally gonna kill all of them. That was awesome. Okay, let's do the last part here. What we're gonna do is read a scene.
All right.
We're gonna read the best scene of the movie.
This is the
First, we're gonna
names.
draw.
So we're drawing.
We're drawing
This is
for
nervous.
parts. We're drawing for parts.
This is nervous.
Okay, we each got a part. So what we're doing is the final scene. So here you go. Matt, you take one. Shelbs.
There's multiple.
please, please,
some
please,
of them
please,
have multiple
please.
parts. I know you
Who's
have cards
Lucy?
made. Mom.
Oh gosh, I'm so.
All right,
bad.
I'm Sam and Grandpa.
I'm Lucy.
Michael and Edgar.
Okay.
All right, ready?
All right.
So here we go. This is the last scene of the film.
Let's set the scene a little bit.
I'm gonna set it. This
Go
is
ahead.
the last scene of the film. This is where David has just been killed by Michael.
They're at Grandpa's house at this point.
They're at Grandpa's house.
I'm laughing prematurely.
Everybody's dead as far as vampires go. So we think. But Star and Michael realize, no, we're still vampires. Nothing's changed. And then here's what happens. Ready?
Or you want to do it?
Okay, yeah, Joe, you do the narration. And so yeah, this is right at the end of the film. And here we go. Lucy, you start.
What happened? Where's Michael? What happened to your face?
Sam, Edgar, and Alan speak over each other in an attempt to stall Mom. Max moves into the next room and sees David's lifeless body impaled by animal horns. Michael and Star watch, hidden in the corner.
I don't want to hear another word from you until I talk to Michael.
I'm sorry, Lucy. This is all my fault. David and my boys misbehaved. I told you. Boys need a mother.
Max, what are you talking about?
I knew it! You are the head vampire!
Sam, don't start this again.
You're the secret David was protecting.
Who's this?
But you passed the test.
Don't ever invite a vampire into your house, you silly boy. It renders you powerless.
Did you know that?
Of course. Everyone knows that.
Has everyone gone crazy? What's the matter with all of you?
It was you I was after all along, Lucy.
What?
I knew that if I could get Sam and Michael into the family, there was no way you could say no.
Where's Michael?
It was going to be so perfect. Lucy,
Here's a distant scream.
just like one big happy family. Your boys and my boys.
Great. The blood-sucking Brady Bunch. Turning his head, the group sees Max's fully transformed vampire face.
I still want you, Lucy. I haven't changed my mind about that.
Michael steps from around the corner. I didn't invite you this time, Max. Michael runs claws out at Max to attack, but Max is too strong and throws Michael up to the second story. Star, Edgar, and Alan all run to attack Max and are easily deflected by the head vampire.
Michael!
Don't you touch my mother!
Sam throws himself at Max in an attempt to protect his mother. He is quickly pulled into a headlock.
Don't fight, Lucy. It's much better if you don't fight.
Mom, don't! Don't do it, Mom!
Lucy, seemingly unable to resist, takes Max's hand and he pulls her close, narrowing in on her neck. Suddenly, Max hears a horn playing La Cucaracha, and Grandpa's truck comes smashing through the wall in reverse, sending a sharpened fence post through Max's chest and propelling him into the fireplace where he bursts into flames, leaving a thick, black, sooty ash on the roof.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
It's over. Is everyone okay?
Oh, Michael. Oh, my boys.
How much you think we should charge him for this? Grandpa exits his truck and walks towards the refrigerator and opens it. The light spills into the darkness of the kitchen. He grabs a bottle of root beer.
Dad, are you alright?
One thing about living in Santa Carla I never could stomach. All the damn vampires.
And scene. Good job, everybody.
We're like thespians.
I know.
I'm basically a thespian. There is one quote. I thought it was in this scene. Maybe I was confused. But the deep voice frog brother, I forgot his name again.
Corey Feldman. How do you not know
I'm
Corey
sorry,
Feldman's
that's
name?
me.
This is insane.
Always my favorite Corey.
Yeah, out of the two? Yeah.
I thought it was
Started
this
like
scene.
Corey Haim in this.
I thought it was this scene, but there's one when one of the vampires dies. He says, "Death by stereo."
Well, he says, we got the one
That's
that looks
actually
like
Corey
Twisted
Haim.
Sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he shoots the bow and arrow into the one guy.
Oh
No. So Corey, okay.
That was Sam.
Sam. Okay, Sam, Corey Feldman, and the other frog brother meet up. They've killed the guy into the stereo.
Yeah.
And they've Sam has killed the guy into the stereo with a bow.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
And Frog
yeah,
Brothers
yeah.
have killed the guy. The Frog Brothers say, we trashed the one that looked like Twisted Sister. And he says, yeah, I got one with a bow. And they see it, but I'm pretty sure Edgar Frog says, death by stereo.
I think Sam says that when Michael, because Michael was in the room at the same time too, and he doesn't Michael push him back into the stereo and it like.
No. Michael's asleep the whole time. Michael's like unconscious.
Yeah, he was knocked out.
Mike, he got effed up pretty quick.
Knocked out by
He
David.
doesn't-
Yeah,
hitting him
he
in the face.
sucked.
Yeah, okay, to be fair, if
He took
you
out David,
just
I mean.
if you just got converted into a vampire, you're not gonna know how your physical limits. It's gonna take you a while to learn them. You
But
know.
when 3 13-year-old boys are kicking more ass than you are as like a 17-year-old
Well, he-
vampire,
yeah.
He didn't get his sleep. They kept waking him up.
He is totally 17.
yeah.
Like, we do get reminded about it very often when his mom just wants to talk. She's like, "Are we not friends anymore?" Like out on the porch.
Yeah.
He's like, "Mom." It's like, and his glasses are like this.
Yeah, they're like sideways.
His glasses
on
are
his face.
completely
He's like,
sideways.
take off your glasses.
He's like,
no.
He's such a teen boy
There's
at that
so many,
moment.
and even at the beginning, he's walking around the town looking for a job, and he asks a guy, hey man, you get any jobs here? And
Nothing
he's
legal.
Nothing legal. And he's like, oh darn. And then it cuts to the carnival, and everyone's there playing games and buying things, and I'm like, where'd all these jobs come
Nobody
from?
has a job.
Is everyone doing something illegal?
Yeah.
It's all illegal. The whole thing's illegal.
And then also at the beginning, during the concert, there's a girl kissing a rat. She's just kissing a
Yeah.
rat.
I
And
thought
was
for
like,
sure that would be
oh,
one
yeah,
of your
yeah.
trivia questions.
And I'm just like,
What animal was the girl kissing in the opening sequence of the movie?
but I like how that was a signifier. How do we make this town look really
Well, yeah, and I think that's what we're talking about.
It's
When they're
people
singing
are
"People Are
strange."
Strange," all they show is people with mohawks.
Yeah.
It's like, look how crazy this is. Everybody around here's got like pink hair or a fucking mohawk.
And then a girl's gonna kiss a rat. That's gonna set everyone over the edge.
And your only jobs are illegal. And like the only way people travel under the age of like 18 is dirt bikes.
And grown adults like to hang out on merry-go-rounds and walk really slowly.
Well, to be fair, they were getting kicked off, but then the other two that get killed later,
everyone else on that merry-go-round are like older people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you think like, okay, when I was like 17, 18, I wasn't like, man, I want to go to a fair.
Just hang out.
Go on a merry-go-round.
Also, if you were to steal something from a store, like comic books, would you do it the way those guys did it? Where they just like grabbed handfuls and ran.
And they just ran.
Like it's so they're like looking at them the whole time, like just hanging out with each other, kind of bumping into each other, and it's like, well, obviously you guys are upset. And they're like, let's grab them, guys, and run. Like, don't you put those in your pants?
How
and,
old
like,
are the Frog Brothers to be like running a comic book store?
Their parents are in
we see their parents.
Store.
Really?
They're the like older couple that there's like a TV and then there's the dad and the mom and they're just like
literally asleep or baked out of their minds.
And they're like,
they're like,
yeah, and you don't see them.
And he even says that he's like, you think that we just run a comic book store that our parents own, don't you? And we're to imagine that those are the parents that are just, they don't make that very clear, but yeah, there's their parents just like leaning behind the counter, passed out with like little circular John Lennon, like Janis Joplin sunglasses.
That just lets you know that these kids are free to do whatever the fuck they want without parents telling them.
Kill vampires.
And this is why they're so obsessed with killing vampires.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And apparently the second, and I think there's a third one of Lost Boys, they like revolve around those two.
Anybody seen them?
No.
Anybody seen them?
I refuse to.
I started to watch the first sequel once. I believe it's called The Tribe.
Yeah, I think I
Lost
might,
Boys.
I might have tried to watch it once, but it's not.
I tried to watch it. I couldn't watch it. And Feldman is in one of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
He
reprises
his
role.
Second one.
He reprises his role as Edgar Furrow.
And there was a series.
This is what I heard.
A television series.
Yeah, I heard there was a series on something.
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair,
we know nothing about the Lost
this
Boys
movie, like,
audience.
Yeah, this movie isn't bad. It's thoroughly entertaining the entire time. It plays off of so many like 80s ideas, and it's fairly good. But there's a lot of effing ridiculous things in it.
I would agree.
That's what makes it so.
But so final verdicts. You liked it?
Final verdict. It fits into my good bad movie list with plenty of scenes that are just wonderful because they're like a girl kissing a rat. That's
enjoyable.
No offense to any women who like to kiss rats.
Shelby, did the Lost Boys hold up for you?
Yeah, I mean, if possible, I probably liked it more watching it now than I did when I was younger in middle school. Like, it held up so well. And I was like, oh, I just love it even more. Yeah. And, you get a lot of things that you don't get as a kid watching
you do, yeah. Joe?
Yeah, I'm right on board.
I'm on board.
I'm right on board with Shelby.
Why was that funny?
I'm on board.
Yeah,
I'm on board with that.
I liked it so much better. It just fits into the the vampire classic so well now.
It really is.
You can just see why it became this
like a cult
iconic
hit.
movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Me as well. I loved it. I will always love this film. I will never not love this film. I will watch it now that I have the Blu-ray. There was a lot of special stuff that I didn't have time to watch. I'm going to watch all of it. Oh, commentary. A whole...
Several commentaries.
Did you see? It was like
deleted
scene. I watched a bunch of deleted scenes that I was like, what's crazy? And then... and they were like fully cut. Like they had soundtrack, they had score and everything. And then the best thing that I can't wait to watch is like how the two Corey, like the story of the two Corys. It was literally like two Corys.
This was their
like,
first movie together.
And they've been
on.
on.
Was it really?
Oh wow!
Was this their first movie?
Yeah.
When was
Holy
License
crap.
to Drive? Was that after?
It was
God.
after.
Forgot about
Corey had already been in Goonies at this point. Or
Yeah.
Feldman had already been in
Because Goonies, he's pretty young.
And Corey
Goonies
Haim
was 84?
What did Corey Haim do before that? But he was in something else. And then this was their first time they were together. If I'm not wrong, I mean that's why.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think
what I
we
gathered.
got it. I think.
Did we do it?
I think we did it. I think
do it, guys?
Got really sink our teeth into it.
Ooh.
Wait, what are we sinking our teeth into?
Bald rockers hanging out around a bonfire. He bites into that dude's head. He's like, I'm just gonna.
But if you're a vampire,
you can bite anywhere, but don't they typically go for like some sort of artery?
Right?
immaturity.
All right, guys.
All right.
As always, follow us on Twitter at irfondly. Go to theouterhaven.net for more podcasts, gaming news, pop culture. Check out Sore Thumb Crew podcast with Matt and his boys, his lost boys. He's got his own.
We are very lost.
Ageless, sexy boys that he doesn't show with.
Actually, we're mostly slightly overweight,
Heavily bearded. One of them is missing teeth. You might
Check
decide
that
I
out.
said that, but whatever.
Subscribe to it, right? They can
Subscribe on iTunes or SoundCloud.
Yep, awesome.
Whatever app
And
you
yeah,
use.
check us out.
Michael.
Michael.
This is Michael. That just got really creepy.
A rabbit is in the administration system.
Send a flu shot.
Rabbit, flu shot, someone talk to me.
A rabbit replicates till it overloads a file, then it spreads like cancer.
Cancer?